Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise of all time, and has affected media in a way no one could probably expect. Between the anime and the games, what else is left for Pokemon to conquer? How about the Guinness Book of World Records? After researching video game world records, I was surprised to see Pokemon had made its way into the record book multiple times, with individual Pokemon holding world records. Granted, some of these are just for their involvement in the Pokemon games, but it's still an impressive feat nonetheless. With that in mind, I'm your host 24Kevin, here for 24Kevintendo, and these are the 10 Pokemon that hold world records. A quick note, these records are as of October 1st, 2018, so if any changes have been made, my bad. Also, special thanks to Cerebi.net and Bulbapedia for having the information to fact check against these records. Anyways, on with the list. Number 10, the fastest Pokemon. Originally introduced in Gen 3, Deoxys is listed as having the fastest base speed of 180 and a max speed of 504. The next closest Pokemon are Ninjask with a 160 base speed and a 460 max, and Pheromosa coming in at 151 and 441, which is a fairly substantial difference. It's pretty impressive that Deoxys speed form has been able to hold on to this record for nearly 16 years, and with over 300 more Pokemon being added to the Pokedex. Speaking of Deoxys, number 9, the strongest attack Pokemon. That's right, believe it or not, Deoxys also holds on to the record of having the strongest physical attack with a base stat of 180 and a max of 504. The next two strongest fall to Rampardos in second with 160 base and a 471 max, and Slacking with a 160 and 460 max stat. A pretty substantial difference once again when you think about it. One other interesting note is that Regigigas has a maximum equal to Slacking, but his base stat is 10 points lower, so unfortunately it knocks him out of contention. If you guys are wondering, yes, Deoxys also has the highest special attack and 8th for highest defense, but neither of those are in the official record book unfortunately, so I can't count them on this list. Hopefully they'll add everything in eventually. I can't believe it nearly took me 18 years to realize why people at my elementary school treated Deoxys like currency, and I guess now I have my answer. Number 8, heaviest Pokemon. Gen 3 once again tips the scales in their favor. This time it's the legendary Pokemon Groudon that holds the world record as the heaviest Pokemon. Unfortunately, since Guinness is kinda slow to update their books, they haven't realized that this has since been beaten. Thanks to the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, 2 new Pokemon have finally overtaken Generation 3 Pokemon on this list, with Celesteela and Cosmome taking over the world record, weighing 2,204.4 pounds to Groudon's 2,078.7 pounds. While Celesteela makes sense, as it was essentially a rocket ship, Cosmome was a tiny Pokemon that can fit in Ash's palm. Either way, it's nice to see Gen 3 finally get beaten, even though it's not officially in the book, but this one is! Number 7, slowest Pokemon. Gen 3 rears its ugly head again. Go figure. While Shuckle has yet to receive a Mega or Evolution, despite deserving one, he has the distinct honor of being the slowest Pokemon in the series. At least until the next generation where we get our first look at Snorlax's pre-evolution, Munchlax. Both of these Pokemon had a base stat of 5, and seemed like they would be holding onto the record for some time, until the release of Sun and Moon. Again, this isn't officially listed in the world record books, but Pyukumuku has the same speed stat of 5, joining these two with the dubious honor of being the slowest Pokemon in the game. You really think they would have given Slugma or Slakoth that honor? Huge opportunity missed, but oh well. Number 6, the lightest Pokemon. Weighing in at a total of 0.2 pounds, the lightest Pokemon Flabebe was introduced in Pokemon X and Y. While Guinness only recognizes Flabebe as the lightest Pokemon, there are actually 4 other Pokemon according to Bulbapedia that share the record. These 4 Pokemon include Cosmog, Ghastly, Haunter, and Kartana. Now Cosmog and Kartana actually have an excuse as they were only introduced in Sun and Moon, and it looks like Guinness hasn't updated their record book since then, but we got Ghastly and Haunter who have been in there since Gen 1. How could you miss that one? It's also impressive to note that Pokemon Sun and Moon took the record for the heaviest and lightest on this list, and that Ghastly and Haunter have held on to this record for so long, even if Guinness doesn't officially recognize them. Number 5, shortest Pokemon. 5 Pokemon hold the record for shortest Pokemon, but only 2 of them are recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records. The 5 Pokemon that qualify include Comfey, Cosmom, Joltik, Flabebe, and Cutiefly. Can you guess which 2 hold the record? Yeah, it's Joltik and Flabebe, with the record of the shortest Pokemon in the record book. All of these Pokemon measure in at 0.1 meters in height, the equivalent of 10 centimeters. All these little guys could literally fit in the palm of your hand, and I really hope Guinness gives all these guys the recognition they deserve when they finally update Sun and Moon. Number 4, the most popular Pokemon. In 2016, a general Pokemon election was held where 562,386 votes were cast through the months of May and June. At the time, there were only 720 Pokemon, but the one who ran away with the title was Greninja. This shouldn't come as any surprise, as Greninja was featured heavily in the anime at this time, and with X and Y being released around the same time, it should come as no surprise that they won. The next 4 Pokemon that were voted in terms of popularity were Arceus, Mew, Pikachu, and Sylveon filling out the top 5, and could have helped influence Pikachu and Eevee being the focus of the new Pokemon game, as well as putting Mew in the Pokeball Plus. Pure speculation, but you never know. With the big winners though, there are always big losers. Number 3, the least popular Pokemon. Unfortunately, Simisear had the dubious honor of being the last place Pokemon on the list. Unfortunately, people just didn't like the Fire Monkey. Soon after, Nintendo actually gave away the Pokemon in a distribution event to try and raise the Pokemon's profile. That was a really nice thing to do, probably gave them a real good ego boost too. Ponyard, Woobat, Vigoroth, and Tranquil round out the bottom 5, and are left to wonder what they did in order to become so hated, but hopefully they won't be forgotten for long. Number 2, the first Pokemon. So if you had to guess which Pokemon was designed first, what would you have to guess? The mascot of the franchise, Pikachu? How about the Pokemon whose spot he stole, Clefairy? Or what about the Pokemon registered as number 1 in the Pokédex, Bulbasaur? Well, all of those would be good guesses. Many people are always surprised when they learn that the first ever Pokemon designed was in fact Rhydon. One of the original designers, Ken Sugimori, revealed that the 112th Pokemon Rhydon was the very first Pokemon he ever designed. Again, it's hard to believe that Rhydon has had so little love for being the very first Pokemon created, but I guess a third evolution, and maybe a possible Mega Evolution down the line, could be all the appreciation that guy needs. And the number 1 Pokemon Guinness World Record is... the first Pokemon trademarked. Can you guess it if you don't already know it? I'll give you a second. It's Mew! That's right, the first Pokemon to be trademarked was the only Pokemon you couldn't technically capture, without the Ditto glitch of course, in the original games. Filed for trademark on May 9th, 1990, Mew was officially approved on the 31st of March 1994, a whole 4 years later. It's hard to believe it took so long for that trademark to actually get passed. In the end though, it should come as no surprise how prolific Pokemon is in the Book of World Records. Especially with Pokemon's reach continuing to grow, there's no telling how many records Pokemon will hold in the near future. They may even need to get their own record book altogether. And that's all the time we got for today's episode. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of this list. There's actually a few more of these lists in the works, so tell me which one would you guys like to see next. Would you like to see world records held by real people related to Pokemon? Or would you like to see the records related to the actual Pokemon games themselves? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. It'll also get you an entry for an SNES Classic giveaway. You can find out more details about that in the details section down below though. But for everyone here at 24KevinTendo, I'm your host 24Kevin. See you guys next time. Hope you had a great day. Bye!